This is the first time I see the LG G3 in person, and I've been testing it for about 40 minutes. They gave me this remote, which is not the original LG G3 remote, but it works. And I've been measuring the brightness with the Lux Light Meter app on my phone, and I have not seen it go over 1000. Okay, but that might be because of the content, that might be my phone measurements, which is not accurate. But yeah, it looks great, don't get me wrong, it looks fantastic. It is not what I was expecting though, but in a good way. For example, I was expecting their blacks to get significantly raised under lighting conditions. This is not a very bright environment, as you can see here. It only has this light here, but that should be enough to raise the blacks. And I can tell you that it is such a small black level raise that it's not a problem. I wouldn't say it is a problem at all. It is significantly less than the QD OLEDs, for sure. I mean, no doubt on my mind. I can definitely see it. I can definitely see the raised blacks when I put my nose on the screen. And actually, looking for that, the only issue that I see with this specific G3 is that it seems like it has some uniformity issues around here. I'm gonna try to see if I can point that out on the video. Let me change the settings maybe to see if I can show it that. Let me increase the ISO like crazy to see if we get like a near black scene where I can show you that. So basically what I see is that in this part of the screen, I see like two lines, like two bands. It's like a uniformity issue. You can only see it near black in some specific scenes. I'll try to see if I can show you that. I can see it in different scenes. So if it was just one scene, I would say, oh, it's just the content. It's a very low quality content. But it seems like it is a uniformity issue. But that has nothing to do with the G3 in general. You know how that goes. Panel to panel, yes. I mean, you can have uniformity issues. It's not perfect, but it looks great. It looks great, and it's very, very bright. So for example, usually I record my LG C1 with these settings right now. With the settings I'm using right now on my camera, I can usually record my LG C1 without issues, and I get minimal clipping. Here, I'm getting a lot of clipping with this recording. So what that means is that it is significantly brighter than my LG C1. So for example, the sun right there, you cannot see it. On my LG C1, you would definitely be able to see that sun there with the camera settings that I'm using right now. So what I'm telling you is that beyond my perception of the TV being brighter, the camera is just, it's not gonna lie, the camera settings that I'm used to, it's clipping. So, and the recording is clipping. So what that means is that this is significantly brighter than my LG C1. So yeah, it does look very bright, and it looks great. When I change the settings, so this is the settings that I would try to keep it at. But the thing is that for some reason it keeps resetting the vivid mode. So I would come here in this vivid mode. Of course, I would use Game Optimizer, but Game Optimizer I cannot test how bright it is because the peak brightness is locked. Well, even right now the vivid mode has the peak brightness locked. Let me get out of here. Okay, let me go back to the settings. So I change the settings constantly just to because it keeps resetting. This is what I would use. Come here. But for some reason the peak brightness is now locked. I don't know why. Let me change from vivid mode. This is SDR right now. Let me change to filmmaker mode. Okay, this is the settings that I punched in. So maybe it's just the vivid mode resetting for some. No, this is resetting too. This is not the settings I was using. And right now, black frame insertion is on. By the way, the OLED motion settings, for some reason, I don't know why, I feel like it is flickering more than my C1, but maybe it's the screen size. The size matters. Screen size definitely matters, and maybe it's just, you know, the content or whatever. But I feel like it is flickering more, but I might be wrong. It might just be my perception, because the C1 should flicker more because it is reducing the persistence to 38% versus this one, which is just 50%. So it should flicker less maybe, but I don't know why I feel like it is flickering more. Let me turn this off. Turn it off, okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm liking, of course. It's 77-inch, a lot brighter. But yeah, it's just a shame the OLED motion only works at 60. Let me see. Okay. And near black, I was looking for near black because some people say that the G3 was crushing blacks, and yeah, I would need some test patterns. I cannot tell just by looking at this demo material. There's no way I can be 100% sure if it is crushing blacks or not. I was switching back and forth between this gamma 2.2 and gamma 1.9 just to see if I was missing shadow detail with gamma 2.2, but I couldn't tell really. One thing that I do notice is that this gamma 1.9 seems to be more washed out than usual. It does become washed out, but not that much on the C1. But who knows? It might just be my perception right now. So yeah, a lot of lock settings. A lot of lock settings that they get unlocked for some reason. Change it to native because I just want to see the colors, and this is SDR. Okay, there you go. These are the settings. See, and it changed now to vivid mode again, so it's like a never ending. Okay, so I changed to filmmaker mode, and I do have access to this peak brightness here. So I adjusted all the settings again to be the same. Native 50, warm 50 for SDR. I wouldn't use SDR at all, ever. But that's the content we have here. Oh, let me try HLG. Let me see if it works, because this is a Blu-ray, I believe. So 111 3 111. See if it works. 111 3 111. Yeah, it works. Let me see if there's anything different here. Oh, it's the same. So if I change, yeah, it works. Look. It works. HLG works on the G3. It's official. Of course, the colors get wild. Dynamic tone mapping with HLG is crazy bright. Crazy bright. I mean, this is definitely the brightest I've seen here. I have to go back and retest the Lux Light Meter app to see what I get now. Okay, let me change the color gamma to native. Whew. This is wild. So I have to change all of this. I hope the settings stay See, that sun is popping ferociously right now. Very, very bright. Definitely brighter than my C1. I can just see it with my eyes. Let me see this. Of course, I wouldn't recommend to use these settings at all. We know better now. But now here at the store, see, this is a lot of clipping on the recording because it's so bright. I have to lower the exposure. Let me lower the ISO a lot. I mean, this is significantly brighter than my C1. I have to lower the ISO to the minimum for it to and still getting clipping. Like, these clouds are still clipping, even with the ISO at the minimum and the shutter speed at 60. I have to increase the shutter speed more. Let's see how much I have to reduce it. So I have to increase the shutter speed to 1/180 and the ISO at minimum to not get any clipping. That's crazy. Let me see. Let me take a look at those clouds. That's okay. Here right now it's not clipping. Yeah, it is clipping. You have to go 1/90 and the ISO at minimum. When I go back home, I'm gonna test these settings on my C1. It's gonna look very, very dim in comparison. So yeah, I mean, it looks great. I don't think there's a way I can show you the uniformity thing. It might be just the content. Okay, let me see. Oh, here it is. Let me increase the shutters, increase the ISO like crazy. Okay, here it is. See that line? See what I'm talking about? Look. See this line? It's clear, you see? I think that was recorded. That's what I was talking about. Let's see if we can catch that on another piece of content, just to rule out that the problem was that piece of content. Let me see. Okay, let's try here. We need we need a dark scene. You see here? Look. See that? These lines here? I can clearly see it. All here is lines. But it might be the content. I'm not sure. It might be the content. It might not be the TV. But, you know, that is sus for sure. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions, let me just change back the settings. I have this right now in wild mode. I would not use this, of course. I would just use maybe top mapping off for HLG, but I would not force HLG, of course. We know a lot of auto HDR tricks. 111. Let me get it back to normal mode. You need to go here, SDR gamma. And we can also force BT 2020 and get wild colors. Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Just return it back to vivid mode. And just wild colors. This vivid mode is just terrible, man. Absolutely terrible. I wouldn't have these TVs like that on the store. I would just, just change the settings like this. 2.2, colors to 55 or 50. I would say 50, and then native color gamut for SDR to have the colors popping more, and then 150 for sure. 150. I mean, I have my C1 with 150 plus a 2-point calibration that's like, blue minus 50 and green minus, I forgot. So yeah, this would be the settings I would use here, and no sharpness. No sharpness. I would just use just 0 here, of course. None of this. Especially if the content is good. I would definitely try smooth gradation if you see color banding. That would be probably the only thing I would use. And just crank this up. Motion looks good. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.